Alright, are you guys ready for the topics today? Alright, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all of you, my beloved students and all the lecturers here as our guests for today. Okay, thanks for joining me for the talk. Okay, so basically I am Miss Nurul Nadhirah binti Muharram, and I am the program coordinator for Diploma in Accounting program here under School of Business and Accountancy. All right. So moving forward, we are going to focus on accounting for today. Okay, which is my expertise, my background. So we are talking about accounting, but make sure you are not being skeptical about accounting at the first part. Okay, be open-minded. We will talk about accounting in your everyday life. Okay, it's not about theoretical part. It's not about what academic is telling you in about accounting. It's all about your everyday life that relates to accounting. All right. So the topic today will be the use of accounting in everyday life. Okay. Now, the very first question I would ask you guys to answer is that what comes into your mind when you see the word or when you hear the word of accounting, accounts, accountants? What comes into your mind first? Money. Other than that, calculations. Other than that, headache. Okay. You know, when we talk about accounting, it relates the most towards numbers, numerical. Okay, numeracy skills. Okay, basically, yes, accounting is very, very close to numbers, but numbers is not just a numbers like mathematics for accounting. Accounting do the interpretation, do the measurement, and we have the process. Okay, so basically, you will know what did you do in everyday life that relates to accounting that you don't even realize it until today. Maybe, okay? But for those who have basic in accounting, as a very basic foundation in accounting also, you will know that you really apply simplified accounting in everyday life, okay? So, the first thing is, did you have your own money? Is money related to accounting? Yes, okay, obviously. So when money relate to accounting means when you have your own money, you cash in your money, you cash out when you use your money, that is accounting. Okay, because in accounting theoretically or academically, we are learning about statement of cash flow. Okay, so cash flow means when you talk about cash, that is accounting. Okay, if you living your life every day not using any cash, it is impossible. Okay, if you say you are using e-wallet, you use online transaction, that is also considered as cash. Okay, that is also considered as money. All right. So first thing first, do you own the money by your own or someone give to you? That is the first thing. When you spend your money, that is already cash out, which is that one is your own obligation, financial obligation when you spend your money. That is accounting. Okay? In accounting, pre-planning is the first thing, and then planning, and then execution. Okay? Pre-planning means where do you get the money? Okay? Is it from your parents? Is it from your salary, your basic income, your side income? That is pre-planning, which is how will you spend without income? Okay, that is pre-planning. Okay, plan means budgeting. Okay, budgeting is wide. Okay, it is not only about accounting. Budgeting can go beyond accounting, which is financial management, financing, and so on. Okay, but the main thing here is we are talking about cash in and cash out. Okay, do you control your money? Or you just spend without thinking? That is accounting. Okay? When you use e-wallet, nowadays we use e-wallet, right? We use online transaction, we use QR pay. That is where the question comes in, do you control your money? Because you are not having it physically. When you have it physically, you can control. But when you are having it online, okay, just pay, scan, you cannot control your money, right? But instead, how do you control your money nowadays using e-wallet, specifically talking about e-wallet or talking about online transaction or QR pay? How do you control your money is how you track your expenses. It's just the same principle, it's just that whether you have it physical or online transaction. Okay, so can I ask Mr. Marco, do you prefer to have a physical transaction using cash, or do you prefer it in nowadays ways, which is the modern ways, QR pay and touch and go e-wallet maybe?
QR pay.
Okay, you prefer QR pay. Do you control your money just like before you use QR pay?
Yes.
How do you track your expenses?
Track transaction history.
Oh, you track with transaction history. Do you really allocate your expenses for daily or monthly? That is the question. Okay?
Monthly.
Alright. If you allocate it monthly, usually if you allocate your expenses monthly, you cannot control it. If you allocate it daily, you can control your money because you have budget. Okay? Okay, we put it in this way. Simple ways is one day you allocate, okay, students, okay, one day you allocate yourself for 10 ringgit, for example, 10 ringgit, okay? What can you use with that 10 ringgit? Okay, how you control that 10 ringgit to survive in 24 hours in a day? Okay, if you, lepas tu, later you say, Miss, makanan dekat cafe pun dah 6 ringgit, nasi ayam kunyit. Macam mana nak makan malam 4 ringgit? Nak beli kat Meseria lagi? Nak shopping-shopping? Okay, that is how you control your money. Make yourself disciplined in a way that don't go to Meseria every day. Accumulate your money. You know one day is 10 ringgit. You accumulate your money, you go to Meseria maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Control your money by accumulating the balance of the money every day. Okay, when you control your money daily, okay, not monthly, daily, you can have surplus, or we call it, you can have profit at the end of the week. Trust me, because you allocate your money daily. If you allocate your money monthly, you will allocate a big sum of amount. When you allocate a big sum of amount, you will spend it in one lump sum. For example, if you have 2,000 income in a month, and then you said 1,000 is for expenses, okay? And then what if you spend 500 in one transaction, and then you have another 500 for many things left? That is why you cannot control, exactly, you cannot control very well when you spend it, when you budget your money in monthly, okay? All right, Ken? Having Meseria here does not help us, okay? Because we will go Meseria, okay, 10 a.m. Meseria, 1 p.m. Meseria lagi. That is why you cannot control your money. Meseria pula boleh can use touch and go e-wallet. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, not having to say that e-wallet is not good, but how you control yourself. Okay, how you control yourself when you spend in the supermarket, in cafe and so on. Alright, KFC pula belakang ni je, itulah masalahnya. Okay, now accounting is the language of business. Okay, when we talk about accounting, okay, it relates most to business. Why? Because, alright, we talk about individually. Okay, the use of accounting in everyday life. So we talk about individuality. Okay, how come it relates to business? Because when you have your own money, you spend your own money, that is considered your own business. You control your money. You know where your money comes in, from where your money comes in. You know when to spend. You invest in yourself, your own money. Okay, that is considered a business, but in your life. Okay, not involving another company or whatsoever. All right. So accounting is the language of business. How can you guarantee you can have surplus at the end of the day, at the end of the year, at the end of the month, for example? Okay, how can you promise yourself you will have surplus? First thing first, when you allocate the expenses, all right, first commitments, all right, the commitment first, and then savings first, not spend first. Saving first, and then you spend the rest. Okay? Having to say that, spend the rest, maybe you can have surplus. What if you have deficit, or we call it loss, to your negative figure to your expenses? You have 2,000 income, you have 1,000 commitment, for example, and including your savings, your monthly savings, and then 1,000 for you to spend for food, fuel, groceries, shopping, and whatsoever. How to make sure that you do not spend it in and left without nothing at the end of the day? Or worst thing worst is that you come with negative figure. Maksudnya, you have 1,000 left and then you have to korek tabung sebab tak cukup duit untuk bayar groceries for that month. Okay, that one is we call emergency fund. Okay, emergency fund is very important when you have your own income that comes under your savings and commitments. That is why when you have your income, you have to go for commitments and savings first. Okay, when it comes to savings, we do not have any discipline ataupun law. If we talk about law, rules and regulations that you have, everyone have to have emergency fund, everyone have to have investment account, current account, savings accounts. No, okay, it's about your own spending. It's about your individuality, how you spend, how you control your own money. Okay, so when we talk about business, all right, maybe you seldomly heard about the thing that we usually use in accounting, which is too much spend at the end of the month. Sorry, is this that dia macam ni? Simplify words is that tak cukup bulan lagi but duit dah tak ada. That is negative lah. That is what we call deficit, or we call it negative figure at the end of the month. How do you handle that? Okay, I'm sure everyone have faced that before. Okay, where you don't have enough money at the end of the day, you have to use your emergency fund, you have to touch your savings before in prior month and whatsoever. Okay, so the use of accounting in everyday life means when you learn how to control your money, when you learn the basic of cash in and cash out of your expenses daily, okay, especially if you have side income. That is why nowadays we talk about you have to have two works to survive. All right, you have to have full-time work and then side income for you to survive, so that you won't have any trouble in making money and spend it. Right, so that is why you have to have discipline in yourself when we talk about expenses. Okay, focusing down on budgeting. Okay, I won't touch into detail about budgeting, but this is that if you don't know how to budget in amount, okay, if you don't have confidence to budget in an amount, budget it in percentage. Okay, percentage is more easier, which is 10% for groceries, 20% for monthly commitment, and then 30% for savings, for parents, for your emergency fund and whatsoever. Alright, so when we talk about accounting is the language of business, focusing down into business. Okay, that one is individuality, this one is focusing down into business, which is profit and loss is the most important thing that the boss wants to know. Okay, When we talk about profit and loss, they want to see a positive figure coming out at the end of the month or a negative figure coming out from the income statement at the end of the month. Okay? Profit and loss does not ensure a company is doing good in the month, in the year, in the financial reporting year. Okay? Basically, what the accountants or the financial literacy people, okay, who can read financial statements very well, okay, we don't see the profit and loss. We see the value, okay, the value of the company, of how they survive, how long will they survive. It's not about profit and loss, okay, because a company who do profits, who get profits from first year until, for example, from first year establish the business, and then until the 5th year of the business, always making profits, that is something to concern, okay, because usually the accountants will always practice that, and a new established business won't make any profit in the first year, okay, and then there, the graph should be increasing, okay. If you start in the first year and you are making profits, and then the graph will sustain in one way, horizontally. It's not increasing. That is why, as you in everyday life, in applying simplified accounting, that is why when you accumulate your money, you will see your graph, or you will see your money growing in the bank account, growing in your cash, in cash terms. For example, if you put your savings first, that is where you can see your graph is growing, increasing. All right. All right. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. If we focus more on accounting, theoretically, it will be very rigid, which is when we talk about asset, when we talk about liability, when we talk about equity. Okay. Let me tell you a bit about accounting, all right? When we talk about accounting, we talk about asset, we talk about liabilities. That is the two major components in accounting, asset and liabilities. Individually, semua orang ada asset and liabilities. Business also having assets and liabilities. How? Do you have an asset? Individually, do you have an asset? Do you know what asset is? That is the first thing. Okay? Usually when we talk about asset, we will go focus more on motor vehicle, your car, your motor, your house is an asset. But when we go down deeper towards individual, all right, even your handphone that brings money to your side income as a TikToker, as an influencer, that is your asset. Your handphone considered as your asset. Indirectly, because it brings money to you. Because assets, the main point is when that asset brings money to you or give potential benefit to you, that is considered your asset for the whole time that gives you money lah. Alright, for example, our TikTokers here, Mr. Marco, maybe you can consider that his mobile phone is an asset to his life. Currently, okay, starting to be famous TikToker here, okay. So this mobile phone can consider as an asset. Alright, how about others? Miss Hanis, do you have any asset considered to your understanding about asset? Laptop. Okay, how do you say that your laptop is your asset? Because you work using your laptop. You gain money from your laptop. Okay? You create content or you complete your work using your laptop, and then at the end of the day, that your work, okay, your work brings money to you, okay, in terms of salary, for example. All right. In other way is liability. Okay, liability is always considered as financial obligation. Okay, hutang. Okay, your monthly commitment, that is your liability. Okay. All right. What relates asset and liabilities? Okay. For example, if we talk about Miss Hani's laptop, Okay, if you take it installment, okay, laptop is considered as an asset, but your monthly commitment to pay the laptop is already a liability to you. Okay, because every asset comes with liability. It's just that how you making money from that asset more than you have to spend for that asset that you own. All right. For example, for those who have car, okay, motor vehicle, who have car, how can you say your car brings money to you when you have to pay it monthly in a big amount? Okay. When you paying a car, for example, 500 per month, how can you sure your car brings more than 500 a month to you as a potential benefit? That is why you have to calculate your monthly commitment before you own any asset, before you create any financial obligation in your life. Okay? Going deeper will make you dizzy. Okay? So you just have to know the basic of asset and liability. Because when there is asset, there will always be financial obligation. Okay? Even as a student, okay, as students also you will have financial obligation in terms of your expenses. Okay, because money comes cash in, okay, your cash flow maybe comes from PTPN or comes from your parents, okay, that is considered already as your asset, okay. But in terms of financial obligation, you tak ada komitmen lain untuk bayar kereta atau bayar motor or whatsoever. Maybe you kena bayar expenses daily lah, daily expenses, your food, your drinks, okay, you punya barang-barang sabun semua tu, that is considered as student punya financial obligation. Okay, that is why you have to start early. At early age, you have to know the difference between cash in and cash out of your daily expenses. Okay, you have to know how to control your money. All right. All right. Do you have any questions regarding the topic today, the accounting in the use of accounting in everyday life? Yes.
For the allocation for daily or monthly.
All right.
Can you tell us the right percentage to allocate our money or salary?
Okay. All right. The question is the right percentage to allocate your monthly expenses or your monthly income. All right. As I said before, there is no discipline, no theory, no rules and regulations in spending your own money. All right. This is that what gives you the important things first. Is your expenses comes first or your savings comes first? Your priority. You have to know your priority. All right. So in terms of percentage, I personally would say that you have to allocate it based on priority. Okay, that is why I said before, first you have to pay your monthly commitment. Okay, which means your money comes in, go out immediately for your monthly commitment, and then you start savings and then your expenses. Okay, if you go from monthly commitment and then you focus on expenses first and then you macam okay, berapa yang ada dekat hujung bulan nanti, itulah you punya savings, then your money won't grow. Alright? Okay? Alright.
There's a question. In terms of being a student, all right, what would you recommend students? Should they start doing savings if their assets is from allowance from parents only? So what say you about students starting up saving?
Alright. What would I say about students regarding students' savings? Okay. Students cannot control their income. Okay, it depends on all students depends on parents or their PTPTN loan. Okay, how can you make savings if you don't have permanent income, if you don't have stable income, because it depends on your parents. Okay, sometimes your parents gives you only 200 per month or 100 per week. Okay, so when you know that you are a big spender, okay, when you know yourself that you cannot control your expenses, first thing first, you have to allocate daily. That's what I said at the first place, which is when you allocate your expenses, you have to allocate your the right amount daily. Okay, you cannot say that you have to spend 20 ringgit per day. That is ridiculous. Because I myself do not spend 20 ringgit per day for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So as a student, I know student penat belajar nak kena makan banyak. Oh tak. Okay, you makan, semua orang pun makan. Okay, it's just that how you allocate your expenses. Takkan hari-hari you nak makan KFC. Okay, so knowing that you don't have your own income, which your income comes from your parents, for example, okay, that is where you have to think, kalau duit tu habis, okay, you nak minta dekat siapa? Yes, you can minta from your parents, but from that, you kena fikir, oh, I only have 100 this week, and then I have to spend 100 only this week. You cannot macam, oh tak apalah, tak cukup nanti boleh minta lagi. Okay, so macam mana you nak start saving? That is why you have to control yourself. Okay, the second slide, if you refer back, how you control your money. Okay, you kena tahu you punya own ability to control your money. Okay, because this is not, we cannot educate people to spend our way. Okay, because different people have different priority, different people have different needs and wants. You have to separate between your needs and wants, your necessity and your nafsu untuk berbelanja. Alright, okay Mr. Mampu? Okay students, understand? Alright, any more questions from the floor? Okay, so questions? Okay.
Just for a quick question, okay, since you are talking about accounting in a daily usage, okay, so based on your personal experience when you teach students and all, in a scale of 1 to 10, how much does your student know about accounting, and how can we help to educate students about accounting more?
Okay.
Because the stereotype is accounting is boring, CP.
Alright, okay, very well understand. Okay, so about the questions, okay, accounting boring, yes, true. Okay, even when I was a student, accounting is boring, but it is about your patience. Okay, so answering your question from the scale, okay, I would say different people have different understanding, the way they understand things, okay? The way they understand things and their level of understanding and how they apply in the daily life or in industry, okay? Accounting is something that is very book-based, okay? It is facts. It cannot be made up. Accounting cannot be made up. Even the basic accounting equation, you cannot change. There is only one accounting equation when you learn accounting. Even if it's in certificate, diploma, degree, master's or PhD, we use the same accounting equation. That is why it is very dry, I would say. But when you go to industry, when accounting students go to industry, that is where they know how far they understand accounting exactly. Okay, in what way they understand accounting exactly. Because when we talk about accounting, we have many areas. We have financial accounting, which focuses more on numerical. We have management accounting, which focuses more in terms of budgeting. We have auditing, okay. We have taxation, and also we have in terms of Islamic banking, Islamic accounting terms. Alright? Good. Alright. So if there's no more questions, I would say this is, I would conclude this as the last question as our closure for today. Okay, so thank you so much to all students and all lecturers and all guests for joining the talk. Okay, so I hope you can now discipline yourself in your own way, because this is something that you only you can control yourself in terms of money, because it's your own money and I cannot control your money. I cannot do your tracking of expenses. I cannot say that you cannot buy this thing and this thing. Okay, it's about you individually. All right. So thank you so much, and we will see you again, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.
Dah. Dah.